So when you're an old fart like me who's had way too much time to think about stuff, I've come to the conclusion that flow state mastery should be one of the very, very first skills that we are taught when we begin sort of formal study. Probably around 14 or 15 years old would be an ideal time to put this in, because as a life skill, if you can master flow state productivity, it's going to benefit everything you do for the rest of your life and just make life so much easier. Anyone who knows me knows that I bang on a bit about the whole mobile phone thing. And the main issue I have with mobile phones and this whole era of digital distraction is exactly that. Distraction is the opposite of productivity. Distraction is the enemy of flow state mastery, because working in a flow state is literally the way to get more done in less time. And it's a pathway to get done what we need to get done so we can have the time to do the things that we really want to do. The key element to working in a flow state is, first of all, to start by setting ourselves up for success. And so that means literally begin the day by working out how to remove as many distractions as possible. And then secondly, designing a day around having those periods of time of productivity where distractions are going to be at a minimum, when our mind is at its very most productive. For me, that's the morning. Other people, it's later at night. Sometimes it ebbs and flows throughout the day, particularly with things like ultradian rhythms, which is a pretty cool new concept that I've learned about recently. Simple tips for setting up for flow state: leave your phone over there or over there, but not here. When you're working, one browser open at a time. The more browsers that are open, the more our mind wants to be distracted by all of those other things. Our ability to focus is closely tied to our visual field. So when we focus in on something, yes, it's harder and it's more tiring, but that's how we get done what we need to get done. Secondly, set up for success by planning the day in advance. So not just the list of jobs to get done, but also be really ready to get into that job and spend 2 hours on it without distraction. Have the things you need to do the job right in front of you. No need to run around. Sit down and get that job done. Thirdly is let people know that this is my time. This is when you can't call me, you can't book a meeting, and you can't distract me. So I literally now block out my diary for 4 or 5 hours at the start of every day, because that's when I am most productive. That's when I'm going to get my work done. And those other fragmented tasks like meetings, planning, checking off email, paying bills, they don't take a whole lot of concentration, and I can do those at the end of the day. And of course, the last thing at the end of the day is to plan for the next day. Definitely the biggest change that I've made in 2024 in refining my work practices and really aiming towards getting maximum flow state was redesigning my days a bit, because you actually have to fit your day in with the rest of your life. So that's around family commitments, fit and healthy, getting meditation done, all of the other bits and pieces that optimize our chance of success. So what I did with my day is, the first part, as I said, is I blocked out the start of the day so no one can book a meeting. I put my phone on silent for most of that time of day, and I probably won't answer phone calls before midday these days. And I actually stopped working from home, which sounds a little bit counterintuitive because I need to travel a little bit to get to another office, but I mixed it in with my life. My daughter does early morning rowing. I drop her off. I get to the office. I've got my day plan done. I work Pomodoro for 6 or 7 sets, normally between sort of 6 a.m. and midday, depending on the day. And up until 9 a.m., no one else turns up at the office. And I can just, without any excuse, focus on the work I've got to get done and get it done. I only try and get 3, 4, or 5 hours of uninterrupted work done a day. And that is plenty, because A, I'm knackered, but B, that is plenty of time to get really high quality work done, and then have the rest of the day to do all of those other things, such as clean the emails, like I was saying before, work across the time zone stuff, give myself plenty of time for exercise. But the flow state is one of the key skills that everyone must master, particularly if they want to learn new stuff and elevate their career.